Hi, so this is a very quick lesson on adding fractions and mixed numbers with unlike denominators. So our first example here is adding two fractions. So I've written right here our steps. When we're adding these two fractions, they don't have the same denominator or the number on the bottom. And we can't add fractions until they have the same denominator. So the first thing we need to do is find the lowest common denominator. So we want to find the lowest common denominator for 5 and 10, so we can list out our multiples of each. So for 5, we have 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. For 10, we have got 10, 20, 30, 40, and so on. And we see that they have both 10 and 20 in common, but we want the lowest number, which is going to be 10. So our lowest common denominator is going to be 10. So now we want to rewrite each fraction with the new denominator. So let's start with 3/10. Well, this one doesn't really need rewritten because it already has a denominator of 10. And now let's take a look at 2/5. If we're going to rewrite it to have a denominator of 10, we look and see what did we do in the denominator, the bottom, to get from 5 to 10. What did we multiply by? Well, we multiplied by 2. So we need to do the exact same thing on the top with our numerator. And 2 times 2 is 4. So now we've rewritten our fractions with the new denominator. Now we can add them. We're on step 3. So we have 3/10 plus 4/10. And we can add these because they have the same denominator. And remember, when you add fractions, you leave the denominator alone, so it stays as 10, and then you add your numerators. So 3 plus 4 is 7. So our answer is 7/10. The last step we want to do is we want to make sure that the fraction is proper and reduced. So remember, proper means that it's less than 1, or that your numerator is smaller than your denominator. And reduced means that we can't simplify it any further, which we can't. So our answer to this problem is 7/10. So the same process works with mixed numbers. And mixed numbers are numbers that have a whole number and a fraction as part of them. So we've got 3 and 5/6 is our first mixed number. Then we're adding 1 and 1/4. So we want to find the lowest common denominator again, because our fractions, 5/6 and 1/4, don't have the same denominator. So we can do the same thing that we did in our last example. Let's list our multiples of 4 and 6. So for 4, we have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and we could keep on going if we needed to. For 6, we've got 6, 12, 18, and I'm going to stop because I see that they both have 12 in common. So that's going to be our lowest common denominator. So now we want to rewrite our fractions with the new denominators. So right now I'm just going to focus on the fraction part of our mixed numbers. So 5/6, 5/6, we're going to rewrite so that it has a denominator of 12. So to get from 6 to 12, we had to multiply by 2. So we're going to do the same thing on the top. 5 times 2 is 10. So that's our new fraction for the 5/6. And then for 1/4, let's do the same thing. We're going to rewrite it so it has a denominator of 12. To get from 4 to 12, we had to multiply by 3. So we do the same thing on the top. So we have 3/12. All right, let's go ahead and rewrite this now as, let's change the color, we'll make it green, to 3 and 10/12 plus 1 and 3/12. Now our next step is to add the fractions and the whole numbers. So 3 plus 1 is 4. Those are our whole numbers. And then 10/12 plus 3/12 Remember, we leave the denominator the same, and we're going to add our numerators. 10 plus 3 is 13. All right, our last step is to make sure the fractions are proper and reduced. Well, 13 over 12 is not proper because it's bigger than 1, or 13 is greater than 12. So we're going to make it proper. 13 over 12, well, that's a whole group of 12 and then one extra 12. So I'm going to write over here 13 over 12 is equal to a whole group of 1, and then there's 1/12 left over. So we're going to rewrite 4 3/12 as 5, because we're taking the 1 and adding it to the 4, and then our 1/12 is left over. All right, well, go ahead and ask me any questions you might have. You can send me a K-mail or ask me in one of our Class Connects. Or as always, you can call my office phone too. All right, well, thank you.